Okay, so what we're going to make now is some cornbread. A real simple recipe using this Le Creuset cast iron skillet. To me, cornbread is the quintessential thing that you make in cast iron. So we're just going to show you a real simple recipe that fits in this skillet here. You'll start off, take all your dry ingredients, some salt, baking powder, and baking soda in your cornmeal. You just kind of stir these together. And then you're going to take an egg and some buttermilk. We're going to whisk all these together. Also, I've preheated my pan to melt the butter in. We're just going to add that. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Just gently fold them using a rubber spatula. Once these are all incorporated, we're just going to add the melted butter in here and transfer it to the cast iron skillet. So we're going to place this in an oven and bake it for about 25 minutes. Alright, so now that our cornbread's finished, you could simply enjoy it just like this, or you could use it in a couple different dishes, which we're going to show you how to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the cornbread from the pan here and just place it on the cutting board. Then we're going to simply cut it in half. And then cut it in half again. We're just going to cut it into little cubes. Alright, since we've got our cornbread diced up, what we're going to make here is a simple cornflour dusted catfish with a simple summer bean salad with tomatoes and cornbread. So what we're going to do is we're going to start heating up our pan like we're doing here. Put a little bit of oil in there. Then we're going to take our catfish and lightly dust it in corn flour. You want to wait till you start to see a little smoke coming off this pan. Ensure the fish doesn't stick. So we're just going to let that brown up. Alright, so you just want to take this until it starts, until you start to see the edges brown a little bit. So once you see that, we're going to gently flip this over, kind of tilt the pan so it doesn't splatter up, and just gently turn it back over. And continue to cook it the same exact way until it's golden on both sides. Alright, so our fish is completed here. We're going to remove it from the pan. So we're going to complete the sides to this now. What we're going to do is we're going to start with a little bit of onions here. Red and white. And we're just going to let those caramelize a little bit in this pan. So once these start to brown, we can start adding other components to the dish. We're going to put a few yellow wax beans, a few pole beans, and some immature field peas. These are great. You can substitute these in a lot of different things for a similar bean that most people know as haricot verts. So that would be a great substitute in there. So we're just going to kind of stir these around a little bit. Then we're going to add our tomatoes. We just want to cook this long enough to warm these vegetables through. Just a pinch of salt, and a little bit of pepper. So what we're going to do is add the cornbread at the last moment, because we're going to add a vinaigrette and we don't want it to get too soggy, but it is going to absorb a lot of the vinaigrette. One thing that's nice about this pan is that it's enameled, so the acids don't really react to the tomato and the vinaigrette. We're just going to add a little of this to the pan. We're just going to finish it with a little bit of butter. We'll finish by tearing some fresh basil. You can use opal or Italian basil, whichever one you like. We're just going to tear it at the last moment instead of chopping it. So we're ready to plate this now. I'm going to put a little bit of mixture on the plate. We're going to take a little of the vinaigrette and just kind of spin it around the plate with the sauce. Then we'll place our catfish right on top. And maybe garnish with some of the flowers from the peas. Maybe some of the tops of the basil as well. And there you have a very simple dish using one pan. That's one thing I really enjoy about this dish, is that it takes one pan and you can cook the whole thing. You can cook the fish in there, finish it all the way, and the side takes so little time that you can cook it all in there and it stays warm. And then you just simply plate it, and you have the cornflour dusted catfish with a cornbread and summer bean salad.